Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine and good. Okay, so basically, this is the second video for geography topical past papers. As we know, uh, we just started topical past paper questions for geography, chapter number 1, topography, and chapter number 2, climate. Okay, I told you the reason for creating these videos in the previous session, and I just don't want to repeat them over again. Okay, so basically this is the second part of the video, as it was really difficult for me to extend my video over an hour, because the first reason was that it was going to take a lot of time to be uploaded. The second reason was that there was a lot of disturbances, so I just decided to end this session and will remake it, or will make another one for the second part. Okay, so this is the second part. Okay, we have done these questions. If you want the link for these videos as well, I will put in the description. Okay, so I guess we shall start now. Okay, so the first question, well, I'm saying it over and over again, kindly read the question carefully. Okay, so basically they are saying study fig 1.1, a map of Pakistan. The maps usually come in the first chapter of topography and in the second chapter of climate. Well, it can come in every chapter. Okay, but mostly it comes in the chapter topography. So this is the fig 1.1. Now they are saying just study it, so just make sure before starting questions, just visualize or just have a look at this map. Okay, so you can see a simple map where we have Jammu and Kashmir, right? And it's totally blank, right? It's totally blank. And we have Arabian Sea. There are no marks over here or cities marks, so let's see what they are going to ask us for. Okay, on fig 1.1, label the following. Okay, Afghanistan, India, and line of longitude. Well, if you guys remember, we haven't done this thing, the line of latitude and line of longitude. So just don't worry, inshallah, we will do this concept in a couple of days, right? I'm waiting for something, inshallah, as we'll reach that. Inshallah, I will teach you this as well. Okay, so so Afghanistan. Now let me share some tips with you. Just make a line over here and just make a line over here, just like this. Okay, so whenever whenever they ask you to locate Iran, they ask you where is Iran, right? They ask you about the location of Iran, so make sure uh, you mark this region. Okay, you can mark anywhere in this region. I'll say this is Iran. I'll mark every for you. Okay, this is Iran, right? And if they ask you for Afghanistan, you can probably mark anywhere in this region. This all region is Afghanistan. Okay, this is all Afghanistan, so you can mark anywhere in this region. This is Afghanistan. Okay, so where do you think India can be? Well, on the eastern side, of course. Over here we have India. Let me mark for you. Over here you can mark India. Okay. So where can be China? Well, China, just make a straight line from here, you know, and at this side basically. over here, over here. Basically, you can mark China wherever you want. Okay, right. So I guess we have fulfilled the requirement. Well, they asked us for Afghanistan, India. Okay, just give me a second. So I guess we have marked Afghanistan and India, right? So make sure to learn these identifications. Just make sure to learn them all. On the western side, basically, we have Afghanistan. At this side, just next to the Balochistan. At this side, basically. Okay, we have Iran. Over here, we have India, and over here, we have China. These are just some simple identifications for which I guess we almost know. Okay. Okay, next you're saying draw and label Tropic of Cancer. Now what a tropical cancer? Let me show you something. Okay, so let's suppose this is our Earth. Let me show you our Earth, our Earth, our Earth, our Earth. And I hope so you all are aware of this imaginary line. This is called equator. Basically, at this place we have two more lines. There are two more lines over here and over here. These both are imaginary lines, right? And they are known as Tropic of Cancer. They are known as Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Okay. So basically, how we can look at this on our map? Just make sure whenever they ask you for Tropic of Cancer, what you have to do is you just have to make a straight line at the end of Pakistan. Well, how? Let me show you. It's a really simple thing. They can never ask you to identify. Just make a straight line like this and just mark this as Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Just mark this as Tropic of Cancer. And we're done for it. Okay, we're done with it. You get your marks successfully. I hope it makes sense. China, India, Afghanistan, Iran, and Tropic of Cancer. These were some new identifications for you, which I haven't told in the class. Well, this is why I was just waiting for the past sessions because there are some more new things which I want to told you, which can't be told in live sessions. Right? Okay. Describe Pakistan's location in relation to other countries. Okay, now what they're asking for, basically they're asking for that you have to tell Pakistan's location. What they're asking for, that kindly tell us the location of Pakistan. Where is Pakistan actually located in relation to other countries? Okay, so let's suppose if I say Pakistan is north of Arabian Sea, Pakistan is basically west of India, southwest of China, east of Afghanistan, okay, northeast of Iran. So basically, you just have to tell the location of Pakistan in relation to other countries, right? Like where Pakistan is located in relation to other countries. Okay, so let's suppose if I can say it is north of Arabian Sea, right? I can say north of Arabian Sea. I can say okay, east of India, right? East of, no, I guess not east. West of India, yeah, west of India. Well, we are just thinking of Pakistan as we're just let's suppose if I'm standing in India and I'm just thinking where is Pakistan located. So by standing in India, I would say Pakistan is west of India, right? Pakistan is west of India. Let me show you. Okay, see, this is north, right? this is west and this is east. Okay, if this is India, I'm standing over here, I would say Pakistan is west of me, right? So basically Pakistan is west of India. And what else I can say? I can say Pakistan is um, east of Afghanistan, right? East of Afghanistan. Well, you can use the line of longitude and latitude as well, but we haven't done it yet, so I will not give an example uh, related to that. Okay, so we can say that Pakistan is northeast of Iran, right? Northeast of Iran. We can say southwest of China. You just have to tell the Pakistan's location in relation to other countries, and we're done for it with it. Okay, next question. Study fig 1.2. Okay, let's just study the figure first, right? Before doing the question. So what we can see in this? Okay, so basically I can see a desert. I can see a desert over here. Because why I'm saying this is a desert? Because the land is barren. I can't see any kind of grass or something. I can say this land is infertile. There is no agriculture over here. There are no trees over here, right? Well, I can see that there are sand dunes behind, right? Sand dunes behind. I can see that there are some bushes, right? There are some bushes. Well, basically these bushes are known as thorny bushes, we can say scanty vegetation, or even you can say sparse vegetation. Okay, there are several words you can use to explain this, or describe these bushes. Okay, so I can say this land is barren. There are some rocks, right? Well, if I zoom it in, I can see there are some small cracky rocks, right? There are some small cracky rocks. Okay, so well, we have visualized the picture. Now let's see what the question is asking us. So basically question is asking us for the main features of the desert area. Now they have specified this is a desert area. Basically they are asking for the features of desert area, basically desert's land, right? We have to tell the topographical features by looking at the photo. Okay, so I told you what we can see. We can see plain. Okay, now if I'm telling in relation to the land, I can say the land is plain, right? The land is plain. There are no hills, there are no mountains, right? This is plain. I can see there are cracky rocks. I can see there are scanty vegetation, thorny bushes. I can see there is sand dunes behind, right? So I can write all of this in the question below. So let's just write. Okay, so let's just start. So I told you guys we can see plain land. I can say barren land, or maybe you can say infertile land, right? As you wish. Barren land, or maybe you can say infertile land. Okay. What else you can say? We can say some bushes, or maybe you can say sand dunes first. What else we can see? Okay, just give me a second. We can see some bushes, and those will say thorny bushes. We'll say thorny bushes. Or even you can say scanty vegetation, scanty vegetation. Even you can use the word sparse vegetation. Sparse vegetation. All right, all of them would be marked correct. Okay, what else we can say? We can say sand dunes, barren land, plain land. This is plain, sorry, plain, plain land. I'm sorry for the mistake. All right, we can say that there are cracky rocks, right? Cracky rocks. I think all these points would be enough. You just have to mention four of them because this is a 4 mark question. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm extremely sorry. Basically, this is the part of the upper question, right? Okay. Let's just take up. This is part of the upper question. The second question is a separate question. Okay. So I'll write it answer over here. Okay. So let's change the color so that it's more visible to us. Okay. It's visible now. All right. So we can say plain land, barren land, bad land is infertile. We can say sand dunes, thorny bushes, candy vegetation, sparse vegetation, or cracky rocks. Right? You can mention all of these if you want. You just have to mention four. Right? Okay. Next. Now they're asking to explain. Whenever there is a word explain, just make sure that you have to give details. Okay. Just memorize this. Whenever they say you explain, you have to give details. If you want, I can say no to as well. जब भी explain का word आ जाए याद रखना है details लाजमी देनी है. सही है, details लाजमी देनी है. Okay, now they're saying explain the challenges of living in desert. अब भाई they are saying that let's suppose I'm living in a desert. मैं desert में रह रहा हूँ. And someone is asking me कि भाई आप desert में रहते हो, what are the difficulties you face? आपको क्या मुश्किल होती है वहाँ पे रहते हुए? सही है. So basically we have to tell the deserts. ठीक है. और desert कैसे, जैसे we have seen in fig 1.2 of which question we have done just a couple of seconds before. Okay, so you should develop your answer. Basically you have to write a well developed answer. याद रखना है पैराग्राफिंग करनी है, पॉइंटर्स नहीं डालने unless until they ask you. ठीक है, unless until you are instructed to do so, right? Make sure never to make pointers, always write in paragraphing and continuous writing unless until it is a 1 or 2 marker question. Okay, so oh, what are the challenges? Like, if you guys remember, we did some questions. We did basically the economical lifestyle of people living in desert areas and what difficulties they face, right? So, what we can say? We can say that there are no, there is a shortage of food supplies, right? Right, there are no foods over there. कोई चीज़ के लिए दुकानें थोड़ी ना, there are no malls over there, no grocery shops. So we can say lack of food supplies, lack of food supplies, lack of food and water supplies, lack of food and water supplies. You have to explain, okay? You have to explain. Basically, in explain wale question, what you have to do is you just have to choose 2 points. You have to describe them. You have to give details for them. Well, I'm just telling you a couple of points. Okay. Well, there is no food. There is no water to drink. भाई खाने पीने को नहीं है वहाँ पे. What else we can say? We can say there are no basically the extreme climate, the extremely hot climate. I'm not saying whether this is climate, okay? Weather conditions of over an area over a long period of time. Extremely hot climate is makes it difficult to spend life, or makes it difficult to live, right? We can say no proper buildings, or we can say no buildings, no roads. We can say roads, right? We can say network. We can say transportation system. Or maybe we can say Infrastructure, no infrastructure, no proper infrastructure. We can say no facilities like schools, etc. No facilities, no jobs, right? We can say unfertile land, can't do agriculture. Agriculture can't be done. Right. I have tell you a couple of examples, so you can choose any two of these. You have to give example. Basically, you have to elaborate it. You have to give details for it. जैसे मैं कहता हूँ lack of food है, तो मैं कहूँगा कि भाई वहाँ पे कोई एग्रीकल्चर नहीं कर सकते, वहाँ पे लैंड बैरन है, वहाँ पे हम पौधे नहीं उगा सकते, वहाँ पे बारिशें नहीं होती हैं, इसकी वजह से वाटर सप्लाई होता है और फूड की बहुत ज़्यादा शिद्दत वाली कमी होती है, सही है. यू हैव टू रिलेट, you can relate 2 3 points, but you have to write in continuous writing. You have to give details for it as well. Sorry for this. Okay, so it makes sense. Next question. All right, so tell, I don't know what this question is about. I can't see the question above, so missing question. This is kind of a lol. Okay, so what we can do? We can do the next question. So there's two ways in which latitude affects the climate of Pakistan. Now, what is latitudinal effect? Let me show you guys. I guess I have this slide with me right now. Let me show you all what is a latitudinal effect. Okay. Well, basically, latitudinal effect means an effect which is due to angle of sun, right, or which is due to being closer or nearer to the equator. Now what is equator? I told you guys that there is an imaginary line in between the earth. Okay, sorry for this again, which we call equator, right? And all those areas where we go, okay, yeah, all those areas basically nearer to the equator are hotter and far to the equator are cooler. Now why this is so? Think of it like this is sun and this is earth, right? Both are circle, okay, both are circle. Okay, so basically see, in middle of it the rays are direct and the distance from earth to the sun is shortest. Meanwhile in other positions you can see the distance is larger and the rays aren't direct. Now how they aren't direct? Okay, now just think of it that all these rays are basically utilized by all this specific area, okay, and for this basically all the rays are being utilized for such small area. So basically rays are directly coming on the equator. First of all there's a short distance, and secondly there all the rays are direct and they are being utilized on a small area. Okay, that's why the areas near to the equator are extremely hot, or the areas which are far to the equator are extremely hot. उर्दू में समझा दूं? सही है, चलो देखिए. होता ये है कि भाई हमारे पास जो सूरज मामा है ना, उनसे हमारा डिस्टेंस जो है मिडल में बड़ा कम होता है. भाई यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक सबसे कम डिस्टेंस है, तो इक्वेटर पे सबसे गर्मी होती है. अब जैसे जैसे ऊपर जाते हैं भाई, दोनों स्क्वायर है ना, तो डिस्टेंस बढ़ता जाता है, डिस्टेंस बढ़ता जाता है, डिस्टेंस बढ़ता जाता है, सन से दूरी हो ही जाती है, हो ही जाती है, जिसकी वजह से टेम्परेचर डिक्रीज हो ही जाता है, सन रेज इनडायरेक्ट हो जाती है, और उसके बाद सन की रेज उतनी आ रही थी, मैंने चंक्स में डिवाइड की उतनी सन रेज को. अब देखिए ये सारी रेज जो है इतने बड़े एरिया पे यूटिलाइज हो रही है, ये इतने एरिया पे सबसे छोटा जो मिडिल पे है ना, ये सारी सनरेज बहुत कम एरिया पे यूटिलाइज हो रही है. इसकी वजह से यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट सन का एंगल है और यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी होती है. सो बेसिकली एरियाज नियर टू द इक्वेटर आर एक्सट्रीमली हॉट, फार टू द इक्वेटर आर एक्सट्रीमली कोल्ड. नाउ दीज एरिया कैन बी फार इन द नॉर्थ एज वेल एंड दे कैन बी फार इन द साउथ एज वेल, नो मैटर. ओके, alright, so basically what we can say is कि भाई how latitude affects the climate. We can say कि भाई as we go far to the equator, or the far we are from the equator, the cooler it is due to indirect angle of sun, and or the second point you can say okay, the closer to the equator we are, the more hotter it is due to the direct sun rays. Okay, alright, so what we can say, remember, we can say कि भाई the more far we are from equator, the more cooler it is due to indirect angle of sun, and more closer we are to the equator, the more hotter it is due to the direct sun rays. Okay, direct angle of sun. I will not write it down. It's a simple question, so you can write by yourself. Okay, now we have evaluate the extent. Toward extent value question. So basically just make sure whenever you see this word toward extent, even if it is in history, even if it is in geography, just make sure, just memorize this stuff that you have to mention the successes and the failures. Okay, the success and failures. Okay, the positive point of views and negative point of views, or success or failures, you can understand by both terminologies. They are more or less the same. Okay, so just make sure to memorize whenever you say this word to word extent, evaluate the extent, even if it is in geography, even if it is in history, just make sure that you have to mention the positive point of views as well and the negative point of views as well. Okay, so toward extent to which the natural topography of Pakistan, right, or basically to make it easy for you, you can think of it as how successful the natural topography of Pakistan limits human activities and economical development in north of country. Now as we know, in northern Pakistan we have ranges, right, mountain ranges, northern mountain ranges and northwestern ranges, Himalayas, Karakoram, Hindu Kush, all these ranges are lies in north of Pakistan. So basically they are saying how the topography means the features of land is hilly, land is mountainous, there is slopey, the land is, there is a slope in the land, there are some mountains, huge massive mountains, the mountains are covered with snow. All this stuff comes under the topographical features, right? Topography means this, the features of land. Okay, they're saying how the topographical features of northern mountains limits human activity. Like how do they stop us from our economical activities? What are economical activities? Like making these roads, making cheese wali dukan, or making malls vagara and stuff like that. Okay, roads, networks vagara. Why they limit us? Why we aren't able to make such things over there? Right, we are making all this stuff, like all these shops and stuff and all this modernization in Lahore. Why can't we build the same in the northern mountains? What are the reasons, right? Okay, they're saying why do the topography limits, how basically they're saying how much the topography of northern mountains limits our activities. We have to tell how much they limit. We have to tell the negative point of view as well and the positive point of views as well, right? We have to tell all those activities which are limited, which we can't do over there, and we have to tell all those activities which we can do over there as well. Okay, so first of all, the pattern, I have taught you this pattern, I hope so. If not, so just focus over here. This is extremely important, or you can say extremely important. I don't have word to explain. Okay, so the pattern for it is, this is simple basically, simplest uh simple pattern. Okay, what you have to do is, 3 points in favor, or 3 positive points you can say, right, in favor. Okay, plus explanation, plus examples. Don't forget to put the examples. Okay, this is what examiner is seeking from you, right? Then you have to add the word, the game changer word, which is however. Then again, you have to do the same, but the difference is you have to tell the points in against. Alright, so alright, so what could be the points? And then you have to give the judgment as well. Don't forget to give the judgment. Okay, so I can say that now let's see what activities are limited. Okay, firstly, due to terrain land, no agriculture. Agriculture can be done. Okay, first point, uh, we can't make roads and networks. We can't make roads and networks. Or else we can say that's why no trading or no transportation. No transportation, because there are no roads, so no transportation. Right, what else we can say? We can say no rearing of, no cattle breeding, like no rearing of animals. Like rearing of animals, so we can do, right? We do rearing of animals. What we can say else? What else we can say? We can say, okay, we cannot make um industries. We cannot make all the industries. Where there are still some industries, we cannot make some industries. Not make some industries. Like steel industry. What else we can say? We can say okay, um huh, due to due to extreme climate, or maybe you can say okay, slopy land, or maybe you can use icy as well, or maybe you can say snowy cap peaks, right? You can say no settlements, घर नहीं है ना settlements, right? These all were the points, all were the activities which are limited. Now what are sorry, these are aren't limit. These are limited. Now what are limit? What aren't limited? What we can do over here? We can work in cottage industry, right? You can say we can make some industries like cottage industry. We can say we can make dams like Tavera, Mangla, etc. Make dams, or maybe you can say HEP projects, hydroelectric power, generate hydroelectric power, right? Or maybe we can say we can do cattle breeding or raiding of animals, raiding of animals. We can say fruit farming can be done in valleys. Can be done in valleys. We hear valleys, okay? Okay, so you can use these points to answer your questions. You can just choose three of these, each three from each, okay? And you have to write a proper answer. Just make sure to write continuously. If you want to make two paragraphs, you can, just don't make more than two paragraphs, okay? And at last you have to give a judgment, right? In my opinion, okay, most of the human activities are limited in northern mountains, but on other side there are much more activities which can be promoted. Oh yeah, I forgot tourism industry, because Pakistan's northern areas are so beautiful. They promote tourism industry, and you can add any point you want after that. Okay, tourism industry. Well, they asked you, okay, did they actually limit all the human activities? You have to give, if you agree with them, then you have to give the reason. If you disagree with them, you also have to give reason. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. We are done for today. Okay, I hope this will help you hold a tight grip over past papers. Okay, we have done all these questions. Inshallah, we will do more in future. Allah Hafiz.